Hello everyone, this is Concho from Concho Sewing and welcome back to another edition of DIY Sewing. I hope you had a great new year and holidays that came after it, and you have a great start in this 2020. So in this video tutorial I'll be showing you how to sew a interesting design that I picked up from the internet, actually from the US Army Sustainment Pouch. I like the design of it, so I figured it out. I had some trials and errors while figuring it out how it goes, but it's very cool design. It is sewn from one piece of canvas. It has interesting features, and it's you can scale it up or down, and it's a great thing to have, and it's really cool, easy and fun stuff to make. So I'll go over it very quickly. On the back I have sewn some poly panel. On the sides there are two D-rings on the side, so you can carry it as a courier bag like so, with some strap on. There is a compression strap buckle on the front. You can compress stuff with it. Top side is very cool. It has some it's very neat design, how it's made to be to close on itself and to look presentable actually. The pouch has a lot of space. I crammed some pants, some snowboarding pants, and some hoodie which I made. So you have a lot of space inside, maybe even 5-6 liters inside. So let's start sewing. Okay, so first, to start off, I will need to draw a plan on how to do this, because the measurements are really big. It's easier for me to draw the plans for you, and after that I will show you how I measured it on canvas, because it will be a bit hard and awkward for me to use the camera while doing it. Okay, so to start, for this pouch you'll need to draw a rectangle. I will give you these measures, but you can use any measures you want. You can upgrade them, downgrade them, however you like, and whatever the pouch size you want to make. Okay, so we have a rectangle here. It's going to be 45 centimeters in length. I will place the inches for anyone who uses imperial measures. Okay, so 45 centimeters in length, and we have a 32 centimeters in height. Now you're gonna separate this rectangle in half, and then you're going to use this axis, this main axis, which will go along the way, all the way to the top of the pouch, as a guiding line for the rest of the drawing, for the rest of the pouch. Now you're going to measure a 22 centimeters from the in the middle of the pouch, and that's why you will need to use this main axis. So 11 centimeters to the left and to the right. So we have 22 centimeters in length, and this will go all the way to the top. This will be your actual size of the pouch, this part. So if you have pouch like this, for example, so this 22 centimeters here is going to be this part of the pouch, so the pouch where you're looking straight at it. So now we have 11.5 centimeters to the right and to the left, from here and from here. So imagine these sides are your actual sides of the pouch, and think of them as such. So if anything you want to add on the sides of the pouch, this is the place to do it, and this will be your front side of the pouch. It's just turned upside down, and you're going to see in a minute how. So continuing on, this will be the bottom of the pouch here, and the length of it is going to be 11 centimeters. So this part here is 11 centimeters. Now the next section is going to be the back of the pouch. It's going to be 32 centimeters. 32 centimeters. And now we're coming on the top of the pouch. So the bottom and the top of the pouch, the actual top, is going to be 11 centimeters as much as the bottom of the pouch. So you want those two places. So this is this part here and this part here are going to be, they need to be the same if you want your pouch to look right. So we are adding 11 centimeters here. So this is the top of the pouch, and the flap of the pouch is going to be also 11 centimeters. So we have a section of 22 centimeters on the top. Now for the top part of the side of the top part flaps, so it's going to look something like this. So this part here is going to be 7 centimeters. This is the 11 centimeters right here, and this part is going to be 6 centimeters. Okay, so to do that, to do this part, now we're going to add 7 centimeters, 11 centimeters to the top. So it's easier just to draw another rectangle to the top, like so. When you're drawing it on your canvas, draw it so 7 centimeters from this point here, and 7 centimeters from this point here. So we have 7, and this will give you, so 36 centimeters times 22. Now for this part here, what you're gonna do is use this measuring tool, or you can use I have this smaller one. I need to buy a bigger one because it has a actual range on it. So I'm using this very simple tool. So it's just a piece of cordage that I measure. It's 22 centimeters in length. So it's 22 centimeters in length. If you have a bigger measurement tool that can measure 22 centimeters, use it. If not, use this simple tool. I'll show you how. So when you have drawn this, so you have one rectangle, another, and third, like so, you're gonna use this measuring tool, this one, and measure 22 centimeters on it. So you're gonna do it like this. I'm gonna scale it down because I can't stretch this at 22 centimeters. So this line here is 22 centimeters. So you're going to do like this, place it like so. Imagine this is 22 centimeters, and just draw a quarter of a circle, like so. Or you can use a pen and some cordage, like so. Measure it, hold the pen like this, and it doesn't have to be spot on, just eyeball it, press like so, and just draw a line similar to this. Okay, so now that you have drawn this, and you will have something like this on your canvas, next thing you want to do, so if your canvas is like this, all this you're going to cut away from your canvas, leaving maybe 1 to 2 centimeters around the actual measurement you have placed, and cut everything away. Now when you get to this part, this is the interesting part where it makes this drawing very awkward and funny. So you're going to cut this part out as well, and this too. So you will have something like this. And now when you get to angles, what you're gonna do with the angles, you're gonna use your scissors and cut incision straight towards the angle, so you can fold this. Now that you have drawn this and cut out, what you have to have in mind, so you understand what you're doing. So you have this pouch, and imagine your canvas like so. So you're folding it on itself like so, and that's how you create a pouch. So when you fold this part and you sew it here, and this part goes to the top, it's here like so, you get a pocket, and this part sewn here and here goes over the top. So you have a something like this closing on itself, because it's one piece pouch. Okay, so you have a pouch like this, you're drawing, so you're folding this part like so, this is sewn here, and now you're sewing the rest of the pouch like so. This goes here like so. So you're closing the pouch over itself. I can't hold everything in place with fingers. So to simplify it, it goes like this. So when you're unfold it, so you have inside, which is actually upside down, so you have to think about it when you sew stuff on it. So this is the inner part. So when you turn it, you have to sew it like this. So everything you want to sew here, pulse webbings and whatnot, so you have to sew it like this. This is the back. Now this is the back of the pouch, upside down. Now this turned like this, so you have to sew it. This is the actual back of the pouch, so you have to sew it like this, and you have to sew on top logos and such like this. So bottom and top parts are upside down. Think about it like folding them over like this. Okay, let's go on with actual sewing. Okay, so this is the actual length of the drawing, or of the canvas. Now you see why I had to draw it on paper. So we have a 32 centimeters line like so, or 97 centimeters in length all the way to the top, 45 centimeters. This is the 11 centimeter mark, another 11.5 centimeter mark, 11 centimeter mark, 32 centimeters, another 22 centimeters, and this is 11 centimeters. So we have a 7 centimeter here and 7 centimeter here. Okay, now remember what I said about cutting those incisions towards the angle. So you use your scissors to cut straight toward this point here and every other point like so. So you can fold it and sew it over itself. So you have 6 of those points to sew. Okay, it looks like a spaceship. Now let's get on with a sewing stuff onto the pouch. Okay, so since we have a lot of canvas to work, I recommend that you start working on the front side of the pouch, and the rest of it you just make a scroll out of it, depending on the canvas you're working with. But this will be a lot easier for you to work with, like this. Use these clippers, clip this stuff in place, so it's easier to maneuver around the machine. And yeah. Okay, so first thing on the list is going to be to fold the top of the pocket like so and sew it over. The next thing is going to be, we are going to add a D-rings on the side of the packet, on the side of the pouch, so we can carry the pouch as a courier bag with a shoulder strap. So we are going to fold this like so itself, because these are the sides. And now we are going to measure. We are measuring this on the inner side, but we are going to turn it around and mark it where it's going to be. Okay, so I'm using these measures, but you can scale it up or down however you like, customize it however you like. This is just a guideline on how to do it. Okay, so I will start 5 centimeters from the top, 5 centimeters from the side towards the center, and this is the place where my D-ring is going to be sewn. I'm going to do this on the other side as well. So 5 centimeters from here, 5 centimeters straight down, and this is the D-ring placement. So because this canvas is a kind of see-through on the light, it's easier for me, but if you're using some other type of canvas, you're going to try to find these lines, or just press hard from this side, press hard on it, or just press it like so, and you will know where exactly to mark it. Okay, so for my D-ring straps, I think this will be enough. Take another one of these. Place it down and sew it on. Use a box and cross shape stitch. What I mean by that, so you sew a box like this and then cross over it to hold it in place, like so. Okay, now do that with the other side as well. Okay, we got ourselves a 2D rings for the shoulder strap. Next thing on the list is to sew in the bottom center of the pouch. We're going to sew a small hole in case you have a water in your pouch or it rains or whatever, so that water has something to go. And another place, another thing we're going to sew is a buckle strap for the pouch, so we can close the pouch. Alright, so now you're gonna measure middle of the pouch, so that will be 5.5 centimeters. 5.5 centimeters towards the middle, and just sew a small square. This is in case you don't have grommets or eyelets or those steel rings that are made for this type of things. So this is a poor man's way of doing things. Okay, so you're gonna sew a couple times in this square to reinforce it, and then you're going to cut a small incision in cross shape, like so. Okay, now you're going to use this tool, seam ripper, and cut small incision. Be careful not to destroy your pouch. Just go easy on it. That's about it. You can do it smaller if you want. That's to your preference. Now we are going to sew a buckle. So to determine where exactly it's going to be, we're going to start from the hole that we've sewn, and maybe some 1 or 2 centimeters from it, and that is going to go straight up to the top. It doesn't have to go very far, because you're going to add more of the webbing going back. So imagine it's going to be something like this. So you can add 32 centimeters or even more, but take into consideration that you're going to close the pouch and actually pull on it to tighten it securely. Okay, so this is our whole pouch, and we start here. I reckon that this distance is quite enough for the pouch. Let me measure that. Let's say 38 centimeters. by the way. You can choose to place this buckle even in the front, somewhere in here. If you desire to do so, that's up to you. I'm placing it down because it's going to be much easier to compress the load in the pouch. Okay, so let's sew another cross and box shape stitches. So try to find the middle, by the way. So since our drainage is in the middle, I can see clearly where the middle point is going, so I'm gonna add a bit. I'm going to draw over it to see where exactly it's going. So another box and cross shape stitch. Okay, so we will add, this is a male part of the buckle and this is a female part. Now take note of the serrations of the lower end of the buckle, so you have serrations on both of these sides, like so, as you can see, and these ones are reserved for the securing of the actual webbing on the buckle. So when you tight the buckle and you apply pressure directly, so this goes down and you apply pressure in opposite direction, it holds tension. It holds tension very well. So if you were to flip the buckle like so and apply pressure, it slides easily. So these serrations are designed to prevent the slide and secure your and tight your and fasten your pouches. So before we fold this and make a stopper so this doesn't fly off, so your buckle doesn't fly off the webbing, another neat trick to keep your webbing in place is to add a elastic loop over it. And this is exactly what we are going to do. We're going to take off our buckle now. Take some elastic webbing or straps, what have you. For now I have these are 2 centimeters. You can use 5, 3, 4, whatever you find, 2.5. What you're gonna do is take a measure like so. Add maybe centimeter or less. Cut this measure out, and now you're going to sew it. Like so. A few times to secure it well, because these tend to rip themselves if you don't secure them correctly. Now you want to flip this inside out and you got yourself a elastic loop holder. Okay, so using the using the buckle like so. So we have so you have to have in mind that, as you can see the logo here, this represents the top side of the buckle and this is the lower end of the buckle. So webbing goes into the first hole, okay, so from down below straight up into this hole here, straight back like so, and these serrations hold it in place when you apply pressure to it. Okay, so before we do that, you want to have your elastic loop like so inside. Now add your webbing, add it inside this loop again. Add it inside this loop again. And you can see how this serves its purpose to keep everything neat. So now you can use this. Now the next thing you're going to do, so this is going like so, so you have to fold it in, toward the inside like so, maybe 2-3 centimeters, and do a couple of stitching right here. And this serves to stop the buckle from falling off the webbing. So if you were to even pull this through like so, in theory this should go inside this part, and snag itself into this end here like so, and it should hold it very tightly. So that's the purpose of this part here. Push this back inside. Okay, so we have our buckle. Now it's time to sew on the top part. We need to sew the rest of it on the top. But before we do the top side, we need to do a back side, how you're going to attach it to something, and then we're going to the top side and actual closing of the pouch. So, back side first. Okay. Somehow managed to secure all these things into one mess. Alright, now it's time to do the back side. So when you turn the pouch, this is the top side. When you turn the pouch like this, you're looking at it the right way. So let me just take a grab. Let me just find some middle point here. Alright, now alright, now there are a couple of ways you can do this. What I've seen of these pouches, some of these have, like in the corners, they have some straps, one here, here, and here, and here, so you can attach this pouch. Or I'm thinking maybe some molly panel, one here, maybe 3 or 4 straps here. I think it will look good, and probably we'll do that. Let's go with the molly panel on the back. Let's take some measures. So we have one of these, it's going to be all the way here. I'm guessing 4 will be okay, 4 lines, and 1 for the straight down. Okay, so we're going to skip one. So you place on the top side where your square is going, top end of the back side, and you place your one webbing, place another, and that's skipping one. I have a tutorial on doing a molly panel, so you can check that. I'll put the links in the description. Okay, let's continue. Okay, progressing well. Now we need to determine the length, where our straps are going. Okay, 4 centimeters to the left, so let's mark one column of 4 centimeters, another one to the left, and 2 to the right. So we are going to place our strap exactly here and here. This is my preference. You can even place another additional 2 if you want to secure your pouch to St. Paul's webbing. Okay, now it's time to sew a Velcro. Now I made a mistake, so I had to correct that mistake. Keep in mind when you're sewing these straps, keep in mind where your bottom part and where your top part is. You don't want to sew a top part on the bottom part, and you have to redo it again. So be mindful of where your top and bottom part is. Okay, so sewing the Velcro on the bottom part. 3 centimeters from the bottom. Okay, let's find out what we can use here. So one length of this should do it for both sides. Okay, so this goes underneath, and this will be our full tab. So something like this should do it. Going with another box and cross shape stitch. Okay, now we have our back side. Now onto the top side, we need to sew a logo here, we need to sew a buckle, and we need to bind the top side. Alright, next thing, sewing our logo. So this will be flap which goes over the pouch, and this is the side where the buckle is going to be, and this is the actual front side of the pouch. So you're going to look at it from this angle. So logo is going to be like this, buckle is going to go underneath. This is the middle point, and enhanced with the pen, and that's on the list now. Right on. We have our logo. Okay, so before we start sewing our buckle and binding, first thing we need to do is this. We're going to fold this and follow this line like so, and sew it on. Okay, so next thing, folding these parts on the flaps. And sewing over. Other side. Okay, now that we've done that, next thing, now you're going to see why you made those incisions towards the angles. We're going to fold this flap onto itself like so, and try to align both sides, this line here with this line here, and sew over it. Okay, so you got something like this. Now we're going to do that with this part here as well, folding it on itself like so. This is how it looks. Now you want to adjust this so it looks more presentable. Cut at an angle that goes straight toward this part, so. Have it something like in a line. Alright, now it's time to bind it. Binding by hand. You're going to be careful about evening the bottom side and the top side of the binding tape on your canvas. Okay, so this is what we have. Looks okay. Now for that buckle. Just place it in the middle of the logo and of the binding, like so. Give it a box and cross shape stitch. Got our buckle. Okay, now next thing on the list is finally folding the bag and sewing it and seeing how it turned out. Alright, now starting from the bottom, this is our front side of the pouch, so that side folding it over like so. So that incision now helps us a lot. Trying to follow the line here. Adding a bit of a curvature here you have two options: to go at an angle here at the end, bury the needle and turn the canvas around, or you can have some curvature. I'll go with a curve. I have another tutorial about that, so you can check that out as well. Keep sewing. Okay, now this is the interesting part, which took me a while to figure it out how it goes. So you're closing the pouch here instead of just going straight to the top and sewing it over. Now you have to leave the space and fold the rest of the flap of the top side under it. So flap goes in between the back side and the front side of the pouch, and you're going to see how that turns out at the end. So fold that flap, try to align it, and the front of the pocket goes, front of the pouch goes over it, like so. Now to reinforce it, sew it back again once more time from the top to the bottom. Okay, now for the other side. Holding the flap over it. This is the adding a bit of a curvature here. Don't forget, flap of the top side goes in between the front and the back side of the pouch. Maybe some adjustments before we open the pouch. We can cut this off. I'm going to leave those. Okay, let's open the pouch and see what we got. Well, it turned out great. I'm going to add something inside so it has some structure. Okay, it looks good. Bottom drainage is okay. This is what those flaps were for. This side as well. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned how to sew this very cool pouch. It's really easy and cool to have lying around. So I hope you learned some new techniques here which will help you in the future. If you like what I'm doing, you can support me by following me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. You can support me also on PayPal, Patreon. You can support me by subscribing to this channel, liking, sharing, commenting and whatnot. Tell me your thoughts about my work. Do you like it or not? And what would you like me to do in the future? Okay, so till the next video.